What's up?
What up, dude?
Not much, not much. I'm still prepping up right now. How was today, by the way, knowing about your football team?
Oh my God, it was a close game. It was a close
Hey,
game.
hey, shut up. It was also a close game for me too, okay?
No, it's like Hail Mary was a long shot. We tried. We were almost there, but we just didn't make the Hail Mary. So I'm kind of
Oh yeah.
peeved.
Dude, you're down like what was it? Like 3 points, I believe. And then
Yeah,
and
it
then
was
it
a it
happened.
was a close game. Yeah. What's unfortunate too is that our rival teams are have a better record than us now, like
Yeah,
Chiefs
the
and
Chiefs,
Chargers.
the Chargers, and
Oh, Wolfgang.
Wolfgang picked correctly though. I mean, was it Leonard
No, he didn't
Fournette?
at all.
Leonard
Just
Fournette
no,
ended up having a great running game.
no. He did not see. This was all based on team bias.
Oh my
It's all
god.
based on
Don't
team
don't think of
bias.
it don't think of it that way. No. Don't think of it
He
that
did.
way.
Did he not see? Did he not see the winning field goal kick on
Okay.
Thanksgiving Day?
Okay, by the way, like what? 5 field goals? That was what he got. I mean, that's
It's
it.
yeah,
Not touchdowns, nothing like that. So I had a feeling that Fournette would
dude.
have been it. I would have been great. I would have been great if Mac Jones ended up winning it. So
Honestly,
just because I'm a
like
Patriot fan.
honestly, because of this, like I'm like now more than ready to tear live action Lincoln a new asshole next week
Oh
because
my
of
god. That's
it's
next
like
week, by the way. We're gonna be reviewing the what was it? We're gonna be reviewing the A Loud House Christmas coming up soon.
crossover.
What's that? When are we doing that, by the way?
So I asked Sunny if we could do it on a Sunday because Saturday is the Treehouse Sessions
Yeah,
episode.
I know.
So when I asked her about it, she said she was okay with it.
I don't accept. Wait, this next Sunday you said?
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday we're gonna be doing our review episode. So
I mean, like, I think that's technically our episode and her episode at the same time. Like, that's how crossover is, right? I mean,
I guess that could work. We'll see. I'll figure it out. What was the other episode that was coming up this week for the Casagrandes?
an episode that's coming up next week.
This week, this Friday. What was the other episode that's coming up this Friday?
Um, this week was this week Throwing Pains or La La
Sorry, paid
Land?
that. Oh, La La Land, La La Land. That's another episode. That was the other episode that also was gonna pop up also this week as well. Okay. All right. I think
Let's
you're all
not.
set. I just want to make
Let's
sure we
not.
have everything.
I'll just. I'll chat with you two about it. Like see if we could do LoudCasa Talks, Casa Loud Chats crossover, talking about the movie like next week Sunday if you want to.
We'll see. We'll still have to make some negotiations, but yeah, that'll be it. All right. It's time for us to record. Thank you for everybody who's watching. We were recording while we were talking. Okay, so it's time for us to actually get this thing started. So let's start the countdown.
Let's go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to an all new episode of the LoudCasa Talks. My name is Nate, and along on my right side is Omid. So, how you doing, buddy?
How you doing, LoudCasa Crew? Happy holidays. Hope you all getting ready for a very Merry Christmas, all that Christmas shopping and such.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, we haven't met up since Thanksgiving, so I want to ask you, how was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, let me tell you, this Thanksgiving was like a gold package. From the Raiders winning their Thanksgiving game on overtime to the wonderful company of family friends, all the way down to, of course, the delicious turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffings, and other kinds of food to fit in my belly.
So it's pretty much all food and football for you.
Oh, yeah, man. Food,
Yeah.
football, family, friends, and fun.
You know what? Though I think like that was pretty much all of us too. Family visited us this time around. I know last year we couldn't be able to meet up with family just because of the whole pandemic and everything. So, yeah, it was pretty hard for all of us. But at the end, we ended up having having yourselves a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah, yeah, same here. I'm glad you had a good Thanksgiving. I'm glad I did too.
Yeah. The other thing too is that after Thanksgiving is also Black Friday. So did you actually end up with like Black Friday deals?
Actually, yes. Like pretty much funny enough, despite the fact that it was only two items that I was purchasing, one of them was a really damn good deal. The other one was just a good deal on a video game. For me, my Black Friday was short and sweet. Now, of course, there are two particular Black Friday sales I took advantage of. One was I got the Spider-Man Miles Morales game for PS4 due to an awesome
Nice.
deal by Target. Then
Nice.
number two, I got an Apple Series 7 watch for a deal I found on Amazon. An Apple Watch.
Sounds
New
good.
model.
Wait, so you actually ended up having what was it? Sorry. You ended up actually having a good Black Friday, knowing that you actually had some awesome deals.
Yeah, definitely. I think the Apple Watch was honestly the best deal I've taken like in Black Friday history.
I think the one thing that you also got took over was the fact that you have a PS5, not a PS5, but a PS4 Miles Morales game.
I wish I had a PS5. It's like
Hey, I have the PS5, so
damn man.
My thing is that I still end up with good deals. I have a brand new monitor. It's already hooked up. It looks really nice. I got some couple games for the PS5, and I need to set up that PS5 soon. Like Demon Slayer, and I have that game. I have Resident Evil 7. And I'm looking at it right now, and I'm like, what other games did I buy? But nonetheless, I mean, like Black Friday deals were fun. Good sales, and we still had up a fun time. I know. Here's the other thing too. I didn't actually like go to the stores this time. I actually just went online. Did you actually have to go to the stores and actually spend Black Friday there?
No. I just all the shopping I did was purely online only.
Oh, that's good. So you don't need to actually head over to the stores and actually face the mayhem. A lot of people there.
Yeah, no. Even though I did go to this one mall that's close to me, like around San Jose, but then again, I only did it because I went to go window shopping.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I did the same thing too. I was mostly online, not really, spending a lot on. I spent a lot of time over with stores. I still ended up actually just having a fun time, just browsing around. I kind of already figured out what deals I'm gonna get, so I just went to the website and just ended up picking up like whatever I needed. So yeah.
That's cool, man.
All right, sounds good. All right, okay, so we're all caught up. Let's go ahead and get over to our recent news, and let's actually start off with something very successful. So talk about success. During the premiere weekend, last weekend, the new Loud House movie, A Loud House Christmas, has become TV's top kids entertainment telecast from 2021, based off Deadline, which is a big success. How would you say that? How would you explain this to me? This is actually really huge.
Honestly, yeah. Now I knew that the movie would turn out somewhat of a success, no matter what. But holy crap, TV's top kids entertainment telecast for 2021. Like number one, that's a feat. Let me tell you, and it is a feat that we celebrate. Plus the fact that it's a brand new holiday movie that you can watch at home, especially on Nickelodeon and Paramount Plus. Like that's honestly pretty big. And for all the movie's flaws, it captures the Christmas spirit.
I mean, the fact that the movie is actually pretty like decent. I mean, everybody there was acting pretty well. We can explain more about this, but that's going to be in another episode. But still, it beat out the premiere of Camp Coral, and that's already saying something.
I'm glad it did, because let me tell you, Camp Coral is garbage.
All right, so I'm just going to ask you, Obi, did you expect this kind of success for a movie like this?
Like I said before, like I expected to somewhat be successful, but I didn't expect the success to turn out to be that big. And when the movie turns out to be, when the movie success turns out to be that big, that's pretty impressive.
I gotta say this though, after all the advertisement and all of like the social media things that we've been talking about, remember last week remember 2 weeks ago we talked about this, about how this movie can become successful. I think they kind of like we were on the point there. Don't you think, Omid?
I think we were, honestly. That could honestly be the case, because we've talked about how there are a few live action adaptations that do turn out decent at the very least. And would you know it, this turned out to be one of them. Now, keep in mind, I said decent at the very least.
I still say it's still successful. I mean, a lot of people look with all the fact that all the advertisements that came out, with all of the social media posts that all of the actors and actresses were doing, it kind of like brought in so many people to watch the movie. That's why it ended up being like one of the most popular telecasts in 2021.
Yeah, man, definitely. Like we're really proud of the Christmas movie. We're really proud of especially the cast and crew because, judging by what we've seen, like it really does feel like the cast and crew were having really fun with the roles with the movie.
Yeah, and to say the least, though, I mean, yeah, if I'm going to say this overall, the movie was actually not bad. Like, you could say there's a lot of edits and stuff that we're going to explain in the next episode of our LoudCasa Talks, but I watched it a couple of times and I got entertained. I was actually not bad. Like, I didn't feel like there wasn't like anything bad. I know there were, like I said, a couple of edits that I thought were like really sketchy that they should have actually done a little bit better, but overall, it did get to the point of the movie, and it actually turned out to be pretty well. Now,
Yeah,
minus the fact about the whole Link Loud formula, I mean, we'll probably explain next week.
damn it, Nate, you just gave out a huge spoiler for next week's episode. I was just about to say that if I could sum up my overall thoughts on the movie without spoiling anything, our thoughts would be this. It's a good movie, but not a great one. You're going to see why it's not exactly the latter when we get to that episode next week.
but like well, yeah, I mean, but like I said, not bad. Either way, very successful for Nickelodeon. And here's the thing, though: if it is this successful, are you imagining possibly a sequel for the Loud House cast for this Loud House cast here?
Honestly, even though I feel that the movie itself turned out to be pretty average, I'm going to say this right now. There is actually potential to have more live action Loud House movies along the way. Like, for example, like we just had a Christmas movie, but what if you make more Loud House live action movies that center around other holidays? Like I said, for example, a 4th of July live action Loud House, an Easter live action Loud House, even a Valentine's Day live action Loud House. And the reason why I say live action Valentine's Day is because it's going to be a whole lot of loving.
You just hope you actually if that actually
wink,
look if that
wink,
actually if
wink,
that's actually
potential.
Look if that actually happens, there has to be a Ronnie and Lincoln thing.
I was just saying. That's why I just said I put emphasis on there being a Valentine's Day movie because wink, wink, potential for Ronnie, wink, wink.
Here's what I'm feeling. If it's going to this is actually going to be successful, there has to be a sequel. I don't know what holiday they're going to bring up, but there has to be like some presence of Casagrandes. Yes, we have Bobby, but there had to be more than that. Look, it's just Bobby. Where's Ronnie had? Where's the other Casagrandes that we could have actually had in the movie?
Where are they? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean,
it's
like
it's not a Casagrandes. It's not
like,
a Casagrandes movie.
If you could give
but
us,
it would be cool to actually have them there.
If you give us live action Bobby, why couldn't we have live action Ronnie Ann? I'm just saying. You can't have one without the other.
Yeah. Well, here's the other thing, too. Speaking of how successful this movie is, next weekend, we are treated to an encore of the hit movie with the actors of Lincoln and Clyde, Wolfgang and Jazir, hanging out with what looks to be the set of a Loud House Christmas, as well as a brand new episode of The Loud House. So let's talk about next weekend because we're going to be just watching the Loud House Christmas, but we're going to also talk to Wolfgang. We're going to go see Wolfgang and Jazir. What do you think the actors have in store for the viewing audience? How excited are you for this weekend or the next weekend?
I'm actually pretty excited to see the Loud House live action Christmas movie again with some, let's say like this, like there's actually like some sort of like TV edition of bonus features. Those bonus features that you see on this like DVD, this movie DVD. Like this is pretty much the TV equivalent of that, where you got some extra stuff added along to sort of like enhance you getting into the realm of the movie and its behind the scenes look and all that stuff. It sort of reminds me of that in a way.
Yeah, I feel like, well, here's the thing, like they're going to be behind the scenes pretty much, in that whole set. So what I'm imagining is the fact that both of them are probably going to be like, oh, we're going to have fun, and we're going to open presents. Oh, we're going to sing the Loud House Christmas song. So That's what I'm thinking about. It's not gonna be like really engaging with the audience, but still, it's just awesome to see like Wolfgang and Jazeer, who both Clyde and Lincoln, and they did a pretty good job being Clyde and Lincoln in the movie. It makes sense for them to host this also.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they can deliver.
Hopefully, it's gonna be something good for everybody who want to watch the Loud House Christmas next week. Now, here's the other thing too. They are going to treat us to a brand new episode of the Loud House, which leads us to our preview section of our recent news. The first episode is going to come out next Saturday. Is called "How the Best Was Won." First off, it's already out. It's already out in other countries. But what can you say about this episode without any spoiling anybody?
Now, coincidentally enough, right before this episode, I really did see How the Best Was Won, and let me tell you, the episode itself is pretty average. That's all I'm going to tell you. There was one element that really stood out to me, which I'm not going to spoil. You'd have to see for yourselves what I'm talking about. But let's just say, like, the episode as a whole, not really one of season 5's best, but it's pretty average, like I said.
Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna be pretty much visualizing from that commercial that I saw. Oh, a brand new Loud House episode. Awesome. This is the title of it. That's awesome. Why is there a broken chain between Lincoln's face? Why is there a crack between Lincoln's face? I have no idea, but I believe there's a fight between a friendship for Lincoln, I guess. Maybe Clyde wants to like be best friends with Lincoln. Maybe there are Lincoln McCloud, but how about the rest of them? Like Liam, Zach, Rusty, them. Stella, for example. Ooh, maybe this is just pretty much like trying to find like the best friend for Lincoln. I don't know. Maybe a competition for Lincoln's best friendship. It's gonna be interesting, but it's a rift between the best friends, and I don't know about this if it's gonna be good or not. But hopefully it leads. I don't know. It just feels like from the way I'm seeing it, it's like they're gonna fight, then in the end they're gonna be all together again.
I'm just gonna say this right now. The most accurate and the most right thing that you said is competition, because let me tell you, there's a whole lot of that in this episode.
Okay, but remember, no spoiling. You did see it, no spoiling.
No, I'm not gonna pull and let you know.
All right, but here's the other thing too. Next week we also do have brand new Casagrandes episodes. They're supposed to be called Christmas specials, but they're not. There's 2 episodes that are coming out for the Casagrandes. One is Throwing Pains, the next one is La La Land. Without spoilers, Omid, what are your thoughts on these 2 episodes? Let's start it off with Throwing Pains.
Okay, first I need to point this out real quick. Nickelodeon, Casagrandes, please work on your advertising, because honest to God, we thought that this was going to be, you were going to deliver us another Casagrandes Christmas episode, but instead y'all were like, hey, since the episode takes place in snow, it must be Christmas themed. Which is like saying that an episode is for the July theme because it takes place on a hot summer beach. Now, without spoilers, I really liked the 2 episodes. La La Land was a touching tale of an owner and her dog, Ronnie Ann and Lalo in this case, and Throwing Pains was a fun-filled episode with an engaging dodgeball match.
So what I am looking at, if I'm looking at the advertisements, I pretty much was looking like, why is Sid frozen? Why is Becky the main person in this episode? And it kind of feels like it is pretty much like, oh, something's gonna be revealed about Becky. Why do you think I actually had an interview about this?
Yes, and if y'all want to, now here's a little something I want to share. So Nate here actually did interview the voice actress of Becky, Abby Trott, when he went to KomoriCon a few weeks ago. So if you guys want to check that out, I believe he shared it somewhere on Twitter.
It's over at the California Conventions blog. It's on YouTube, so search up California Conventions blog. The interview will be right there. I also did interview a lot of other guests. Erica Mendez was one. I forgot the others, but I know Erica Mendez was definitely a topper. Oh, Robbie Damon was also another topper as well. So if you guys want to see those interviews, go check out our YouTube channel called California Conventions blog. That's the press team I'm working with. That's the reason why I go to conventions and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I ended up having a personal interview with Abby Trott. So please check that out. And I did talk about Throwing Pains in that interview. All right, so the next episode that also is coming out on Friday is going to be La La Land. Without spoilers, how would you preview this? How would you explain this episode? Like, what are you? Without any spoilers.
Like I said before, so it's pretty much a touching tale of an owner and her dog. Like pretty much, it's pretty much this episode really solidifies how much the dog Lalo really means to the entire Casagrande family, especially to Ronnie Ann. And like, like there's a bit of a behind the scenes footage, like not what we were just talking about a few minutes ago with Loud House Live Action Christmas. Like, no, there's actually legit behind the scenes footage of the movie that Lalo himself is working on.
So here's what I'm gonna say about it, because the thing is that if I was actually a person watching Nickelodeon right now, there was no advertisement about La La Land. So, but the way I'm seeing it right now is more like, why is Lalo being pampered? It looks like he's actually in Hollywood and being a star. So is this how the treatment is going to be? Like, are they gonna lose Lalo in this episode? Uh, it kind of feels like that, right? He's gonna be a huge star, I believe. He's gonna be a huge Hollywood star. And it feels like that's the route that Lalo is going to take. Plus, the other thing, too, we don't have any Lalo episodes. We don't have much Lalo episodes. So this is actually going to be really fun to see because, yeah, Lalo's going to be the star of this episode.
But as we're going to talk about later on, it turns out that Lalo is not the only character that is robbed of much more potential screen time. No, we're going to get to that when we get to the main subject.
That's pretty sure, yeah. But anything else I want to bring up when it comes to recent news? It feels like we've already gotten through everything, but still, huge success for the Loud House Christmas. You can watch that on Nickelodeon and on Paramount Plus. Plus, we have brand new episodes of the Casagrandes coming out on Friday, and we also do have a new Loud House episode this upcoming Saturday. So don't miss out on those. They're all gonna be on Nickelodeon. All right.
Yes.
So let's head over to our main subject, which is this is Maria Santiago. So you all know her as the nurse who took care of her two kids. She's the lone Casagrandes, whom, if I'm honest with you, doesn't have like much airtime in the rest of the Casagrandes. But if you have been seeing her recently, there's been a lot about her. From her past to her big role on why she helped make the spin-off show of the Loud House to pretty much like the making of the Casagrandes. She's Maria Santiago, and there's quite a lot to talk about her. So tonight, we're going to break down everything that we've seen recently about Maria, how she really helped make the Casagrandes, her past, how she's kind of crazy with her past, and why there needs to be more airtime for Maria. So let's actually start off with the big main one. First off, without Maria, we wouldn't have the Casagrandes, right? I mean, sure, she only appeared in the first episode, Shell Shock, just to say hello to Lincoln, but in Relative Chaos, that's when her big move came in. If you think about it, if it wasn't for her and her kids to move out of Great Lake City, we wouldn't have had this Casagrandes show. So, Omid, when you think about this, should we really give thanks to Maria for introducing us to the Casagrandes that we love and cherish now?
Yes. Now, even though in the beginning of Relative Chaos, we thought they weren't moving, we, as well as Ronnie and Bobby, thought they were just going to, visit them and that's it. However, I'm so glad we got to meet the Casagrande family, from Hector to Rosa to Carl to CJ to Carlota to Lalo to Sergio. Now, it was revealed later on that the reason she brought the Santiagos to Great Lake City in the first place was so that they can move in. Ronnie Ann, however, was not having any of it, let me tell you. We saw that she was resenting it, as opposed to Bobby, who, surprisingly enough, was, accepting of it, in a heartbeat. But thankfully, later on, after a little talk with Maria and seeing how the Casagrandes decorated her room, she then decided they should stay, and lo and behold, the Casagrandes was born many months after. So it really is mainly because of Maria and her driving her and her family there in Great Lake City. That was sort of a prelude to what is to become of the Santiago's new home. So yes, I do thank Maria for it.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing, too, is the fact that Maria had to bring out the bad news to both Bobby and Ronnie Ann, the fact that they're going to move into Great Lake City. So the thing is that when we first thought about that, you're kind of thinking like, oh, we're not going to see Ronnie Ann anymore. Because from after that episode, you're kind of feeling like, where's Ronnie Ann? Where's Ronnie Ann? Yes, she did come back out there, but no Ronnie Ann anymore because she's now in Great Lake City. But the thing is that what was great about this though is the fact that like it came to us with an idea that says like why can't we actually have an show talking about this other family? And lo and behold, we have the Casagrande show. And what I like about this too is the fact that like the Loud House even like hinted that they're going to go back to Great Lake City to talk about a Casagrandes episode. They're going to go have a they're going to have a mini series of pretty much all Casagrandes. So to say the least, though, if it wasn't for Maria to pretty much put that move and actually make them stay in Great Lake City, look, we wouldn't have had the Casagrandes show right now. Like seriously, like none of this would have happened if it wasn't for her.
Exactly. Like we, the fans, are grateful for Maria for contributing to what's to come with the Casagrandes. Let me tell you, I think we're even more grateful to her than the show itself in Nickelodeon is, because let me tell you, from what we've seen, Maria has like little to no episodes focusing on her, and that is such, it's just blasphemy. It's just like it's just
exactly right. Look. Ever since she started like bringing the kids to Great Lake City, where's the episodes for her? She's just a nurse, pretty much stressed out, which we'll explain later in the show. But I'm just saying, where is more episodes for Maria? Like, there's nothing else. She's just a nurse. That's it.
Seriously, just why?
I mean, like she got introduced as a nurse in the Loud House. But then, like, you move her to Great Lake City, and then you were thinking, oh, she's a great mom for bringing Ronnie Ann and Bobby into this great family, and looks like they're gonna have a fun time together. Except we see more of the Casagrandes, but not Maria, which I don't know why. Like I said, we want to thank her and have her have like some awesome episodes, but no, Maria's just pretty much a nurse.
Yeah, honestly, and I especially appreciate her character, like as a son of a mom who does work in healthcare. She's a respiratory therapist. So honestly, as a son of a mom who does work in the healthcare department, this makes me like especially appreciate her even more. So honestly, like this is something like as someone as that and a Casagrande fan, like this is something that I want to see in season 3, like happen. Like give more episodes to her, give more focus to her, give more backstories to her, make her a full-fledged character just like the rest of the family.
Exactly, but at the moment, we did have a couple episodes in season 3. I mean, Date with Destiny was actually pretty striking. Wouldn't you agree?
I believe so. Yeah, Date with Destiny was.
Destiny was quite an episode.
If I could describe Date with Destiny, it would be this: Horoscope 2. Horoscope 2.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. I want to bring in a what if situation over here. Looking back at the episode, what were your thoughts if, for example, Maria went with Ronnie Ann's word and moved back to Royal Woods? What big difference would happen if this occurred?
And now we must ponder the question: what if?
Okay, watcher.
I just love what if scenarios. They're really fun. Honestly, I think things would have been different because we never would have gotten Casagrandes. We would have gotten much less screen time with Ronnie and Bobby, and in turn, we would have gotten much less Maria. So honestly, I think moving to Great Lake City was a good call for the sake of all these characters and for the sake of having their own spin-off show. Because let's say the spin-off show never happened, Ronnie and Bobby would not have been as prominent as they are now, because if we do still have Loud House, of course, we still got episodes focusing on Lincoln and his family and all that stuff. Like they would have given as much focus of Ronnie Ann as they would have of, let's say, Zach, Liam, Rusty, and Stella, which is pretty scarce and only when needed.
Look, if they actually did move back to Royal Woods, I think people are just pretty much gonna say like, okay, so you pretty much moved back. And they're pretty much going to be playing as secondary characters again. Like, you're not going to see a lot of Ronnie Ann. You're not going to see a lot of Bobby. So, yeah, what's the point? Also, the other thing, too, is, like, I was scared also the fact that if Ronnie Ann did leave the Loud House, that we were not going to see her anymore. Because, she left the Loud House. She went to Great Lake City. So, in the back of my mind, I'm like, are we going to see any more episodes? So, when I have a feeling of if Ronnie Ann and the family did move back, it kind of feels like we're gonna leave out the Casagrandes and not gonna see them again. It kind of sucks because it's like I love CJ, I love Maria, I love CJ, I love Rosa, I love Hector, I love Carl, and everybody else in the Casagrandes. I'm like, if we're going to be pretty much like having one episode just about them, then we're not gonna have them again if they actually did move back to Royal Woods. So
exactly.
So
honestly,
yeah, go ahead.
Like honestly, like I think the biggest crime that not having a Casagrande spinoff could ever commit, honestly, it's not related to Maria, but it's related to Ronnie Ann because it would have squandered the potential and the opportunity for Ronnie Ann to have her own fleshed out, developed character arc like she did in Post Relative Chaos and the Casagrandes, because we've seen her blossom, we've seen her flourish, we've seen her grow into this fun, social person, as opposed to what she was in Royal Woods.
She's not the same old bully like what people like we've seen back in season one. We've known that she was like a person who's like really caring in a shell shock. And I think it just absolutely grows, especially when you see her in the Casagrandes, which is great because it's like Ronnie Ann is a great character now. She's not that one bland character that's just going to be a bully to Lincoln.
Yeah,
So
she's not OG Helga.
Oh god. But yeah, I mean, it just makes you think though. Like if we we did actually see Ronnie Ann move back with Maria and Bobby back to Royal Woods after that episode Relative Chaos, it kind of tells you like we wouldn't have had the Casagrandes. So to say the least, though, I mean, it was the decision of Ronnie Ann to stay, because the thing is that Maria would actually just follow whatever Ronnie Ann was going to say until Ronnie Ann started to, pretty much like warm up to the Casagrandes. It just tells you like Ronnie Ann's a great character and that there's so much potential for her that she needs to actually have her own show, hence the Casagrandes that we have right now.
Yeah, honestly, the Casagrandes was really good for Ronnie Ann's character. Going back to the grammatical error, I meant to say new Helga, not OG Helga. What am I saying? She would have been new Helga if she moved back to Royal Woods. I'm just saying.
I mean, like she would be as a bully like Helga, but not as mean. I don't know. I mean, she is kind of tsundere.
Yeah, it's like Bucka Lincoln. It's not like a man to Bucka Lincoln.
Now let's talk more about Maria, because look, she's just a nurse. We just saw her as a nurse, in Royal Woods. Now she's a nurse over Great Lake City. But you never expected to see her just stressed out 24/7. We know how busy nurses can be taking care of patients in hospitals. That is definitely takes a toll on them, especially for Maria. From the early episodes of the Casagrandes, it really hasn't been a break for her. I mean, like in the Loudest Thanksgiving, for example, Ronnie and Bobby would celebrate Thanksgiving at the hospital due to Maria's work. And that's where they would celebrate the holidays there. Explain your thoughts when you heard about this from the episode. I mean, did you think the move to Great Lake City was definitely necessary for Maria?
Yes, it is, because I'm gonna tell you this right now. Who wants to spend Thanksgiving at a hospital? Really, who really wants to celebrate Thanksgiving at a hospital? That's like celebrating Christmas at a cemetery. Potential Lucy Christmas episode, perhaps. Honestly, I think this is one of the reasons why this move was a huge step for the family. Not only do they get to be closer to their extended family, but they actually get to have a fun, and I mean legitimately fun, Thanksgiving holiday together.
I think my thing is that, under the stress that Maria has been having, I mean, I guess Royal Woods was really stressful for her. Nonetheless, I mean, celebrating over at a hospital for Thanksgiving, everybody tells you like, okay, it's just the three of them. It's not going to be as fun as compared to like going to the Casagrandes and celebrating Thanksgiving there. So yeah, I believe when the move came in and we actually knew about the Casagrandes, it makes sense for them to actually, have a fun time together with the Casagrandes. Have Maria, Ronnie Ann, and Bobby actually have a fun time with the Casagrandes, not actually just chill and have stressful times like in a hospital, for example, and actually celebrate Thanksgiving. That's weird. That's really weird.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like, okay, this was really funny when when they thought that Maria was covered in blood, but then it turns out that it was some sort of cranberry sauce. Like that joke gets me every time.
I'm pretty sure it does. Still though, I mean, she's a very stressed out lady. I mean, freak, she even takes a lot of coffee too. And I mean, you can look back at that one episode.
Oh, I can relate. Hey, trust me, like as someone who does have to get up early at the morning for work, let me just say I can relate.
That's like all of us, right?
Yeah. That's all life,
so,
am I right?
Now here's the thing. And the other episode I also want to point out is vacation days. I mean, Maria and Ronnie Ann plan to have a day together since this is the only time they would have a day off. But throughout the day, Maria just needed rest. What can you say from this episode here about the stress that Maria's under?
Now, I'm going to say this right now. Vacation Days is the most underappreciated episode of the entire series. It's one of my top favorite episodes, and it's a damn shame that it doesn't get talked about nearly as much because it gives me what I wish that the show would give me more often. Not only more Maria focused episodes, but also Maria episodes that focus on her relationship with her children, especially Ronnie Ann. Because we have seen throughout the course of both LoudCasa and Casagrandes that due to work, she rarely has the time to spend time with her children. And let me tell you, it could take a toll on not just Maria herself because she has to work 24/7, but also Ronnie Ann. Excuse me. It also takes a toll on her children too, particularly Ronnie Ann, because they feel like, because they're busy with their lives, they don't have the time to, spend time with each other as a family. So honestly, I do like that Vacation Days really does delve into that problem.
Yeah. And my thing about this is the fact that, like, yeah, I understand she's working really stressfully too. I mean, from the fact that, like, throughout all the times we always see her go to work, she's always stressed out. I mean, even the stress lines on her eyes kind of tells you like how bad she gets. In this episode, it just feels like, when the day off comes, everybody wants to go with her. Like, oh, like Carl wants to talk to Maria, or what was it? Carlota wants to have a date, like give Maria a date. But it's all about Ronnie Ann and Maria that they promised. But still, I mean, the attention that Maria has is quite a lot if you see what happened in that episode. Because not only Ronnie Ann want to have like time off with her mom, but everybody else in the Casagrandes want too. Because because of the fact that like that's her only day off, and yeah, you gotta understand why the family misses her.
Exactly.
So I feel bad for her, especially in this episode, because I understand how compelling a mother should be to their like daughter, for example, and her being all stressed out and being all like all sleepy and all this junk. It just makes me feel so sad for Maria because I know she wants to be like a great mom to Ronnie Ann, but with all the stress that's weighing down on her, it just makes me feel sad for her. And I love the fact that in the end, in that episode where like Ronnie Ann just pretty much gave Maria or her mom just the bed for her to sleep on. It's just more of like, wow, I can't believe Ronnie is so caring to her mom. It's not all about her selfishness that she wants to hang out with her mom. She's actually caring for her mom as well, and helped her out by making her rest before her next shift came in.
Exactly. And it's sort of a small continuity, a nice touch of continuity to Shell Shocked because it shows like this shows more of Ronnie Ann's nurturing side that she gets from her mother, where pretty much Ronnie Ann does help tend and nurture to Maria in return. Like it's not just Maria that acts motherly and tends to Ronnie Ann. It sort of goes both ways.
Right. So yeah, that's all I can actually say about like her being stressful. Omid, what other episodes did you want to bring up regarding Maria stressed out as a nurse?
Now, for the next prime example, this doesn't necessarily play a huge significant role in the episode per se, but there's this moment where Maria is so stressed from work, and I mean stressed to the max, that we see her craving for coffee in the morning. I can relate, okay? But in order to save power, she had a true energy gun to stay up, and and pretty much not only that, but she even gets a personal foot massage from her daughter Ronnie Ann. Okay, and I'm just gonna say right now, I'd give her Maria a foot massage after she came home from work. I'm just saying. And of course, what I'm talking about is Power Play for Casagrandes. Really solid episode.
I think the one part in that episode that you pointed out on me was the fact that she even tried to like get out of coffee and end up actually getting energy gram, which actually made it worse for her. Made it worse for her.
Look at that. The animators did a fantastic job with the eyes, like how you see those curly red lines that show just how stressed he is. Like it's those little details that really does add to the character design, that really adds to the expression of the character. And let me just say major props to the character animators and character designers for this.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of tells you like how stressed out Maria could be, especially as a nurse. So why not have a lax time off with actually having some energy gum? That turned out to be, well, kind of like this. Yeah,
Exactly.
I wouldn't try energy gum now. So let's head over to another subject that we want to bring up. Okay, yes, she's a stressful nurse, but the other thing too is that from the episodes that we've been watching recently, her past really intrigues us. what really boggles me from the recent episodes of the Casagrandes is who the heck Maria is, especially how she is in the past life when she was like a young kid. Let's start off with the other man whom she really liked. No, I'm not talking about Arturo. I'm talking about this man named T-Bone. From the episodes like VIP, The Date with Destiny, we learned that Maria and him had a relationship that no one knew. So we would learn about her wild past, that she sneaks out to go into concerts with him. Seriously, though, how surprising was that when you heard about this, about Maria?
It's one of those small moments that make us see that Maria is more than what she seems. It's one of those first moments that got us thinking there's more to Maria than just being a nurse and a Santiago mother. There's more to her than just meets the eye. And I feel that like VIP especially started that sort of character observation.
It's weird because it's the first thing that I see from Maria. The fact is like, oh yeah, you're just a mom who's pretty much chilling with the Casagrandes. It isn't until this episode where I finally figured out what the heck happened to this woman. I didn't expect her to be having a wild and crazy side. I didn't expect to have like her having a wild and crazy side, jumping off of stages, getting into rock concerts, and the fact that I heard that she sneaks out to go to concerts, and I'm like, whoa, this is something that teenagers do. Okay, that makes sense. But now look at her; she's like a composed nurse. No, back then,
unleash your inner Luna Loud. It was at this moment that Maria Santiago became Luna Loud.
Oh okay, yeah, just because of one sneak out concert, I guess. Still though, it was surprising to hear that. I'm like, wow, I didn't expect this mom to be so crazy sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Like this really does give me some sort of impression that it's like, ooh, okay, I want to see more of this Maria. I want to see more of the wild, crazy, fun-loving Maria that we rarely see. And, of course, in several episodes down the line, we do see that rebellious side of Maria. We really do. And let me just say that I'm proud of her for it.
God. That's going to deeper waters there, Omid, but we'll let it slide. So here's the other thing too. We talked about this guy named T-Bone. What about this relationship with T-Bone? Do you think it would have really worked out if the date actually went well? Say, for example, like a date with Destiny.
If he wasn't such a big baby over freaking pineapples over things, like it could have worked. Yeah. Now, of course, I can understand if it was, well, let's say pineapple over pizza. I don't put pineapples over pizza, by the way, and he'll just and bunchoy. But pineapples itself, come on, just freaking pineapples. Seriously, you're being a huge baby. You're being scared of pineapples for some reason. Come on, Maria deserves a real man. She deserves a real man.
I don't know. Just the thing about this whole Date with Destiny episode, especially this part, I didn't know they actually dated. By the way, so it kind of tells me, it goes back to VIP, where it kind of tells me like, oh, they did date when they were sneaking out to concerts and all, and they actually made up in this part of the episode. And I have a feeling like Maria does like T-Bone, and if the date actually turned out well, then they may have had a relationship. And I'm pretty sure Ronnie and Bobby are gonna be so pissed about that. Still, though, I mean, it makes me think like, man, how affectionate was Maria to T-Bone throughout that time? Like, I believe it actually happened like before she met up with Arturo. I don't know. It feels weird. Like when I saw about this, I feel like, oh, maybe there's potential for Maria to actually date T-Bone again. But wait, they were exes? When did this happen? Like back in VIP, when we actually learned that she was actually sneaking out to concerts? Somebody give me some backstory. We don't have backstory. Casagrandes, please let me explain this to me, please.
Look at this.
Like, there's a lot of dark holes. There's a lot of dark holes when you hear about this kind of stuff.
Look at this. I think the image speaks for itself right there. Like you see the blush, you see the way she looks at T-Bone. That image right there pretty much says it all.
I swear to God, like, now it kind of makes me think like, what's the next episode, Maria? What's the next Maria focused episode? Are we gonna actually have like a flashback episode where Maria and T-Bone actually meet? And maybe that's the same time where Arturo also met Maria. Just a heads up, Big City Greens did this before. I mean, they did this in a season 2 episode, by the way.
Yeah, they really did. Like, coincidentally enough, that revolved around like divorced parents as well, similar to how this one did.
Yeah. So I have a question for you, Amid. What ideas do you have hearing about this part of Maria's past? Like how she got the wild attitude, how she had the courage to sneak out of concerts, to go to, yeah, and all this kind of wild stuff that Maria did.
You know, I think that the more you hear about Maria's past, the more you think to yourself, there's actually potential to make full on legit um Casa Grande flashback episodes. Like there's actually I said before that there should be much more Maria episodes than we already got. Well, part of that could be like some of it could be revolved around Maria's past, like how she met Arturo, how she got into concerts, and most importantly, how she became a nurse. So I feel that there's there's actually a lot of ground to work with in terms of Maria's past. Honestly, that there's a lot of story potential you could do with this.
There's a lot of story potential, but the thing right now is the fact that, like, I believe we started it off like early in season one. Season two, we get more of it. And season three, we definitely got more of it. So here's the thing: we just started season three, so it kind of tells me like if they're gonna put another Marie episode, then there has to be a more potential past, right? Potential past moments that happen with Maria.
Yeah, but then sadly it's all getting shafted away because wacky hijinks and you know Carl episodes like overload. Carl
Look,
episodes
look, look,
overload.
look, look. Season two had a lot of Carl. Okay, we get it. How about the rest of the Casagrandes, please? I mean, I don't know how many episodes of Carlota we got. I think we had like two or three, and we had like what 8+ Carl episodes.
Exactly. Like there has to be a balance. I think the problem with the Casa Grandes, like especially recently, was how there seems to be a bit of a lack of balance in terms of the amount of episodes focused on certain Santiago and Casa Grandes characters. Like you've got like a majority of episodes are focused on one Casa Grande, while the other gets a few episodes here and there.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, you're gonna keep it evenly anyways. So, say for example, like you'll have a Ronian episode here or there because she is the main character. But you also do have potential of like other characters that can also have new episodes. I mean, it's just a Casagrandes after all, so I'd imagine like you have a Carlota episode, you have a Carl episode, you have a CJ episode, you have a Maria episode, a Frida episode, a Carlos episode, because there's so much potential in that. But I know that you only have 24 episodes per season. Still though, there's a chance you can actually put like 3 or 4 episodes of like a Maria, 3 or 4 15-minute episodes of Maria somewhere in there, and then we can actually learn more about her past.
you have you have the material right there, Casa Grandes. Work with it. I'm just saying.
Maybe they just tried to unravel it like a present. Like this is just one part of her secret. Here's another part. Here's another part, and I'm like, what is she?
Yeah, coincidentally enough, you brought the present wrapping allegory, no, the present wrapping analogy during a time of wrapping up presents. That's a pretty
perfect. This is why it's Christmas, right? We don't make it Christmas.
In fact, what we're talking about right now could be a potential Christmas gift for us.
Okay, so here's the other thing too, though. I mean, yeah, we get it. She had a crazy past considering that she wants to go out to concerts and do all this crazy stuff. But the other thing too is that she's actually a pretty studious student. I mean, in her high school, she actually did partake in clubs that would name her like the most likely person to travel the world. But instead, she couldn't be able to achieve that goal because she needed to raise her 2 kids. But that was an adventure she always wanted. So what can you say about her high school life, knowing that she went through all these clubs and actually was like very popular there?
It was actually quite an exhilarating life that Maria lived, especially high school. And let me tell you, like her high school life does have potential to have a series of Maria flashback episodes on their own. Like I said, there's a lot of ground to work with in terms of what we know about Maria so far with the flashbacks and these hints, these fun facts, and all that stuff. Let me tell you, you have the material right then and there, and I honestly don't understand why like they didn't just they should have worked on it like long ago.
Yeah, but still, I don't know. They put more focus on the other characters. Maria is the like backstory person of the Casagrandes that we never really think about, but now we actually want to think about her now.
No, she deserves better. She deserves better.
I
She's
mean, I have another what if. Have another what if scenario for you. So, what did you think life would be for Maria if she ended up actually having that trip around the world?
not only would there be an episode revolving around it, but honestly, that would be an entire series in and of itself. Call it Postcards from Maria. It's kind of like that Buster spin-off show in which Buster Baxter travels to different countries. Like, that's sort of similar to this.
I'm kind of like feeling if she actually traveled the world. Here's the other thing too. Like, I feel like if she wasn't crazy about her past, she would be that one person to actually travel the world before she ended up having Ronnie Ann and Bobby. You know, there's a potential chance you could have actually had that, but I don't know what happened in your past. I felt like you had that experience. You had the chance. Your high school was actually pretty fun. You went through like all these clubs, but you ended up, I don't know. See, this is the other black hole I was talking about. What happened between high school and your crazy years?
Like, there's so much we know about her, and yet at the same time, there's so much we don't know about her. Like,
I
honestly,
know.
that's why this podcast episode is called The Mystery of Maria Santiago. Because yes, there's more to her than meets the eye. But at the same time, though, because there's like so many episodes that because there's so much focus given to the other Casagrandes and Santiago's, there's still more about Maria that we need to know about. And I feel like the only way that we can know about Maria, like, you know, fully, completely, like to sort of like fill that hole, is if we get more Maria episodes.
Exactly. I think we're already going down to the point here, but to say the least, though, we still have a lot more to talk about for her past. Still, though, I mean, it makes me think though, like if she actually did do this whole travel thing, would we have Marie? Would we have Ronnie Ann and Bobby right now?
Um, I honestly, I feel that she would have her own kids like after she was done traveling. I feel like she would have had Ronnie Ann and Bobby, but on a much later date, on much like on in the
For like
future.
like for adults right now, I know that they always want to say like live your best life until you like feel tired when you're ready to like settle down and actually have kids. I feel like that's the whole thing that we're missing here. Like I feel like Maria actually did have like this whole lifestyle for her to actually, live her best life until she had to settle down and have Roddy Ann and Bobby. But
Yeah,
I
I
felt
feel
like
like I
yeah,
feel like she would have had kids of her own like in the future instead of the present.
I
Is
felt
what
like
I'm
she
saying.
said no, I feel like if we're gonna think about that, I feel like she settled down already. But it feels like before she settled down and actually, had Roddy Ann and Bobby, I feel like she did all these crazy stuff. But the other thing too is that maybe one of them would have actually been your chance to go around the world. But you missed out on
Exactly.
that and raised Roddy Ann and Bobby.
But then, like the closest thing she got to it, thankfully, the closest she got to it was Guilt Trip, in which technically Ronnie and Bobby did take her all over the world. And when I say all over the world, I mean like they went to many Italian, Korean, Japanese restaurants, and all that stuff. Basically, all the touristy stuff in Great Lakes City. So in a way, she did kind of travel, but not literally.
Yeah, nonetheless, though, I mean, it still headed up. It still ended up to becoming like one of the best episodes of the Casagrandes here.
I agree. Guilt Trip is a very solid and touching episode.
All right, so yeah, like I said, like her past was mostly kind of crazy, but at the same time, also pretty like well knowing the fact that she's actually was a really cool high school student. But here's the other thing too about it. Maria, on the other hand, has weird attitudes. Would you say, Obid? Because when Maria becomes chill, is there like some sort of dark side when it comes to Maria? So let me sum it up here. We only have one point to bring up for this topic, but when she's chill and relaxed, there's something about her that makes me feel like she's really off. I mean, if you look back at the episode Chocolate Force, when the chocolate's off Rose's hand, the wild side of Maria comes in. In that episode, she seems pretty careless, has the attitude that would come from your teenage years. But then again, it kind of happened to like all the adults as well. To say the least, it's a new side to Maria. What are your thoughts seeing her like this?
Oh, not only do I like it, I love it.
Oh
Love it, love
God,
it, love it.
what?
And in many ways, I am, for lack of a better term, infatuated with it. It's the side of
What?
Maria that really turns me on. Let me tell you, man. It's like
Whoa, you too much info. No, stop. Too much information, by the way. What the heck?
I mean, look at that. She's got her feet up on the table. She's wearing casual clothes, and she's like holding the ball like as if she's drinking, you know what? Like, let me tell you, man. Like, there's a side of Maria that I want to see hell a lot more often. Like, I want to see her come out of her Koopa shell, per se.
See her come out of her shell. Yeah, I guess. I feel like there's like that one time where like maybe she's like too stressed out that she cracks, and then she comes all crazy, just like this, for example. Look, she's not under strict rules by her mom, so she ends up being like this. Like without the nurse's outfit, she ends up not with a sweater. She's just pretty much chillaxing like a teenager with socks on and even drinking chocolate syrup. So what am I looking at?
You're looking at the Maria that's let loose, let be free, all that stuff.
And to say the least, like for a parent to let loose like this, is it something that you see from like a parent like Maria?
Oh yeah, this is the kind of this is a side I want to see more often. Come on, like
okay, so I get it. Like Omid loves moms who love to like get out of her shell, I guess.
Koopa shells.
Okay, well here's the other thing too. We haven't seen a lot of Maria like this, but do you want to see more of her in episodes like this?
Oh hell yeah! There's, like I said, there's potential to work with this side of Maria. As I said before, just like the flashback episodes, there's a whole lot more potential that you could do with this side of Maria. Like, for example, let's say she wants to go to a concert of a band that she's been a fan of since she was a teenager, but then she either has a shift or a long chore that Rosa tells her to do. And I think one way you could definitely help this work out is that if you have like Ronnie Ann or Carl help her sneak out to go to the concert like she always did, like as told in VIP.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. I mean, it'd be cool to actually see her more like this, but I don't know. Like the more composed Maria is what we've been seeing recently so far. It's just one moment like this where I get to see like, what? Maria's just like this? Can we see more of her like in her past? Maybe this is what's her in her past, right? Where she's just pretty much relaxing, like having her feet up on the table and things like that. I'm like, this is what happens when you're a teenager, when you actually don't have rules. Oh, maybe you were a rebellious kid when you were in your teenage years. Maria, you have a lot to think of. I have a lot to think about for you.
Unfortunately, though, this part actually turned out to not be real because it was all part of Carl's dream. I was like, damn it, I wanted this moment to be real. I wanted this moment to be real. Come on.
No. Not makes you think. Like, was Maria actually like this, like chillax when you back in her past without the chancla, without her mom's like prohibition or things like that?
Well, it's been hinted at in episodes like VIP, like I said, and we even see her more playful moments where she bickers with Carlos. You know how in episodes like Tales from the Crypt. Remember Tales from the Crypt? How or Fails from the Crypt? How like Maria and Carlos were sort of like bickering as brother and sister. And you're like,
yeah.
Oh, you're gonna cry. It's just like
I love that one.
That's another example. That's an example of her.
That's another thing too. I'm like, that's another thing too. But they think it's like this is like sibling rivalry stuff. But then again, like you see Carlos and Maria actually like acting like kids. Even if they're adults, they're acting like kids. You saw this at very Casagrandes Christmas. It Fails from the Crypt, for example. Both of them would be like, Ma, Maria's like throwing elotes at me, and then they start fighting with it. And I'm like, what is this? Why do you never see this from? I never see this from parents. I never said them to be like all immature like this.
Like you've got a nurse and a college professor bickering and fighting as if they're still 8 years old. What
I know. I mean, like you have adults who are acting like kids, and I feel like they're trying to relate to us, saying like, yeah, you can still be a kid even though you're like really old.
Yeah, exactly. So I kind of like what Casagrandes did right there. I do like what Casagrandes did right there because let's be honest, even at this age, like even at Carlos and Maria's age right now, like they still have their immature moments. Okay, I'm just saying
they do.
Like we all have our immature moments,
you see
even
it
as adults.
randomly in Casagrande episodes, like. there's only like a one small moment, like say for example in like Tales from the Crypt, where you get to see Maria and Carlos just continue to sibling fight each other, which I thought was like pretty funny. But it also does trend on with other episodes as well. So it tells me like, okay, so this is a trait that both of them will have. Which I think is first off is funny. Second off, pretty weird. Like I never actually acted like that to my sister. Okay, so
You're saying you never did?
how about your brother, Omid?
Well, not at that level, no.
See, look what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Either way, though, I feel like a chill side to Maria feels like we've seen the dark side of Maria, where she's like, oh yeah, chill side is like the Maria's not that stressed. She's just a nurse that is pretty much like under pressure some of the times. But if you actually get her to a chill side, watch out. She's actually like possibly like maybe kind of kiddish.
Yeah,
which I find it to be like what.
I think that sort of represents every adult. Like they want to blow off steam, and so they want to blow off steam after like a hard day of work and all that stuff. And the way they could blow off steam as if they do something pleasurable, they do something, it's doing something that's related to being kiddish in a sense. So I would say like part of it is unleashing her wild side, but I would say another part of it is blowing off her steam as a hardworking nurse.
Yeah. Still though, I mean, like it would be cool if we actually see this again, like a Maria who's just like to boss around her brother, or at the same time like be like a kid, like in what you saw in Chocolate Force.
Oh yeah.
All right, so here now let's actually move on to other things about Maria. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we actually do not know about. The fact that there's some unsolved mysteries about Maria. One obvious story we want to know is how the heck did Maria and Arturo gets to be separated. We thought we would have something in the episode Date with Destiny, but to no avail. In fact, I believe it's still awkward having these two still meet in, as you see in Operation Dad. Omid, you have been begging this for a long time for this in the Casagrandes. Do we think we need one soon to actually answer the question why these two got divorced?
Oh, let me tell you, Maria and Arturo's divorce backstory. We've been craving it for years. We've been craving it for months. And it's pretty much the top number $1 million question. Why did Arturo and Maria divorce in the first place? That's $1 million question. No, $1 billion question. And to that I would say if we do get it, that would be great. Like I've been wanting it for a long time myself, believe me. But if we don't get it, let's say we never get it. And the reason being is, from what we can speculate, is because they just feel that they weren't meant to be. Then you know what? I think Date with Destiny shows that that's okay too. I know some people are technically begging for a Maria and Arturo's divorce backstory. And believe me, as much as I want one myself, and I really do want one myself, I ask you guys, please just chill. Because backstory or not, Maria and Arturo still work as good characters and still work as friends. And Date with Destiny shows this.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that the one thing I think the one thing I want to hear about the whole breakup between Maria and Arturo is the fact how they did that. I mean, look, Ronnie and Bobby are awesome characters. I mean, they're raised under Maria. The thing is that the one time they'll actually see Arturo is when he actually moved back into Great Lake City. FYI, still kind of a little iffy about that Operation Dead ending. I mean,
I still am too. Trust me, believe me.
Yeah. Now you have Arturo back in Great Lake City. Now they're going to be hanging out together. Now you actually need to have that answer. Why did we not actually have these two separated? I mean, first off, Arturo is not even the Casagrandes like building them himself. He has to like move to some place in Great Lake City. But Maria is still there. So the only time Arturo would come in is like, say, for example, like visit Bobby, like in the Mercado. So seriously though, I mean, if we're going to have these two in the same city, there has to be an answer, or else this is just going to be awkward having these two, just hang out, like meet up together. I mean, you can see in Operation Dad, like, oh yeah, Arturo's coming to visit. Maria's just pretty much having a vacation for a week. Okay, please answer that question, please. Why is Maria not want to talk to Arturo?
I know. I mean, aren't they, technically good friends? Technically, like they still have good
Well, that
interactions
was
with
weird.
each
No, no,
other.
because like, so say for like example, the scene we're looking at right now. Look, it's very awkward. Like in Operation Dad, the whole entire episode was just more of Arturo hanging out with Ronnie Ann and Bobby, but Maria's just absolutely out of the picture. It doesn't until Date with Destiny that kind of tells you like, okay, they're having a mutual agreement here, but it's not as big, not as romancing. They're just, you know, they're just separate people. They're not like fighting or anything like that. Just separate people. So it just
Similar
tells you.
to similar to Bill and Nancy in Big City Greens, that sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah, but at the same time, it feels like Bill and Nancy actually like are okay together. But in this situation, it feels like there is still no resolve. It feels like they're just only like, oh yeah, let me talk to you about Ronnie Ann's plans. Let me talk to you about Bobby's plans. There's still no answer about like the whole. Yeah, that's it. And I'm like, there should be probably more like to talk about when it comes to like how these two got split and how these two actually got into a mutual agreement between the kids, because it's something. It is a lot to think about, but it'd be cool to actually have like a straight answer in the Casagrandes if it actually does pop up.
Yeah, because another thing too, it's not like this. It's not like either of them are deadbeats or anything like that. Both of them are respected, nurse and doctor respectively. Like they're both really respective, employees in the healthcare facility. So, based on that, like it makes me think, okay, there's got to be some sort of legit reason, because it can't be down to bitterness. It could be due to like disagreements about how they raised Ronnie and Bobby, but I think that's all what it really comes down to, really.
Here's the thing that you pointed out when it comes to like for example, Big City Greens with the divorced parents of Bill and Nancy. Still, the thing is that Nancy is starting to become a main character for the Big City Greens because she's been popping up more often and she actually is caring to both Cricket and Tilly. Arturo does come in. He'll have his own episode, but he doesn't have that interaction with Maria. You following along with that?
Yeah, that's kind of weird. That for one, we don't see Arturo, very often in the Casagrandes, at least not nearly as much as we see Nancy in Big City Greens. And two is that other than Operation Dad and Date with Destiny, we don't really see them on screen together in other episodes. And I'm saying that, like, now Date with Destiny has opened doors, opened windows to the potential of giving development to Maria and Arturo's friendship after the divorce. And it could even what may even be included in future Maria and or Arturo episodes is the divorce backstory. So, like, if it
Mhm.
comes, then yes, I'm definitely happy that Rick got it. But then if we don't, I feel that's okay too, as long as the stories themselves in these episodes are well executed.
Yeah. Now it makes me think about another what if situation, Omid. But this is more of
Ooh.
like your thought. This is more like your thoughts. Omid, how did you think the breakup for Maria and Arturo was?
All right, time to unleash my watcher persona again. It's now time to ponder the question: what if? Okay,
Okay.
now let's say, okay. Now, I think what happened was that how Maria and Arturo broke up, how they got divorced, it's probably due to, like I said, disagreements, particularly with how they raised Ronnie Ann and Bobby, or it could be simply due to the fact that they just weren't meant to be. Sort of like Teacher's Fred, but done actually good. You know.
God, no, don't remind me of that episode now. Poor excuses to actually break up a couple. God damn it, Arturo.
Exactly. It's like it's a reason similar to that, but this time around, it's not a poor excuse to conclude the episode or to resolve them half-assedly. It actually does help. If, let's say, Maria and Arturo do go this route, it helps gives a sense of realism into divorced parents, in that you don't necessarily need to have a um, big, huge, like, turning point reason. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to necessarily have a breaking point to Maria and Arturo's divorce. It could just be that, like, after really thinking about it, they just realized that they weren't meant to be, because that's
Yeah,
what
I
happens with
have a
divorced parents too.
Here's my prediction on like how they broke up. Look, they're both nurses, so I'd imagine that they did hook up in nursing school. So they hooked up, had kids, Ronnie Ann and Bobby. But I felt like something happened along the way where they're kind of like it can't work out. I feel like the thing that kind of got me into it. Well, I feel like the way that they kind of broke up was the fact that like Arturo's going to Peru, is going to be living there in Peru, and Maria cannot handle a long distance relationship. I
That
that's how I think it is.
Now that you mentioned it, that could be actually a legit reason why they would divorce in the first place. Is that she can't handle long distance relationship, and so as a result, they do divorce because of that. And it's like that's actually a legit reason to break up. That doesn't include tension. It doesn't include bitterness. It doesn't include rivalry. No, it's just that the circumstances do not really help to the marriage's favor.
Hmm. Nonetheless, though, I mean, like even though through the awkwardness and all, the fact that still Maria and Arturo still are, you know, just mutual buddies together, and the fact that they're also being buddies for their kids, I think it's just a good resolution. Don't you think, Omid?
I think so too. I honestly do think so too. Like I said, backstory or not, Maria and Arturo still work as good friends and they still work as good characters, regardless of whether we know or not how they got divorced in the first place.
Right, right. So, nonetheless, I mean, for the end of Date with Destiny, I must say that actually was like a good ending to go off with. They are not like a bickering couple, but to say the least, they end up with a resolution, the fact that their kids are going to be satisfied with. So, yeah. So here's the thing: knowing that Maria had a wild past, there should have been a changing point to her that made her become a nurse. I mean, she even said it in Date with Destiny, but we didn't actually see the fact that why were you a nurse? Why did you turn into a nurse? Would it have been great to actually have that revealed in the episode?
Okay, I'm just gonna say right now, Casa Crew. Let me tell you something. You thought that we got robbed of a divorce backstory? Let me tell you, that is nothing compared to how this episode took away the potential for a legit nurse backstory. How did Maria become the nurse that we all know and love in the first place? Really? I honestly, I think it's worse than not having the divorce backstory. At least whether or not we have a divorce backstory in the first place, at least like we can, accept that, okay, Maria and Arturo, maybe things didn't work out and such. But how did she become a nurse in the first place? I really want to know. Was there some sort of life-changing event? Was there like some sort of
Hmm.
circumstance? Because let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you something. I don't think she's always aspired to become a nurse. I think she was aspired to become something else.
Look, she had a crazy past. She loved to go to rock and roll concerts. So I don't know what happened in college, but maybe something like happened where it's like I need to turn the tides and become a nurse. I feel like
Exactly.
after the crazy past she had, I feel like something happened where like say for example like oh my god I'm running out of money, or maybe or Rosa actually like cut off your funds, so you need to actually like be legit about like what you have to do for your future. That's why she became a nurse. I feel like that
Exactly.
could be a thing.
because because I'll bet you anything. I think that based on how wild she got with the concerts and such, I think that something tells me that like before she became a nurse, I think feel like she wanted to become a rock star.
Right, I know. Maybe becoming something like Luna is right now. So another question for you and me, like little like thinking about stuff here. What are your thoughts on how Maria became a nurse? Because we were not answered that in Date with Destiny.
Okay, now I think the only one who really does know how Maria became a nurse is of course Ronnie Yen, but we don't know about it. Thanks a lot, Date with Destiny.
I don't think Rodian even knew
I
about it because Maria pretty much like talked about it, but Rodian wasn't there.
all right, right, but I think she must have told him later on. I don't know. I
I
think
don't
there
know.
must have
No,
been.
no, nobody knows about it. Ronnie Ann, no,
Uh,
Maria said it like when she was in that bird thing, but then Ronnie Ann lost her, and then she ended up not listening to Maria at all about how she became a nurse. So we don't know. We don't know.
right, good listener, right? I think there
Hmm.
must have been some sort of. I think how Maria became a nurse is. I think there must have been some sort of incident that happened in the concert, and that's why when Maria swings into action and tried her best to heal someone who was physically hurt possibly T-Bone. And that's when she found her calling to become a nurse so that she can help others in a way that she helped, like someone who got hurt during the concert. Or maybe it's this. Maybe her parents told her that, okay, you remember how I said that Maria could potentially want, there was at one point that Maria possibly wanted to become a rock star? Well, I think that during the time when Maria aspired to be a rock star, her parents told her that being a rock star is a dream that goes nowhere, and being a nurse is a more promising career, like it's more of a job in the job market that makes money. To which I say, excuse me, I think Luna Loud might want to have a word with you, okay? If she can do it, so can your daughter, okay? I'm just saying, guys.
Well, my thing of how Maria got into it, I think the fact that I already did explain this though. Maybe something happened where something life changing happened. Let's say, for example, like, oh, you ran out of money because your mom cut off your funds. No more crazy concerts for you because I think you got caught. Oh no, you got caught when she talked about it in the IP. I just feel like, yeah, something happened where like I think like Maria was going down like a dark edge area, like a dark gray area, and eventually like either Hector or Rosa had to come in and say like, you need to actually look about for your future. And that's when she started to say like, okay, maybe I should be a nurse. Then she met up with Arturo, and then they became a couple, and then ended up having Bobby and Ronnie Ann. So my feeling is that something happened like when she was a teenager that turned out to become like a nurse. Still not answered, but it's something to think about,
And that's how she became a nurse. You're such good listeners, Casa Crew.
Any other mysteries about Maria that you want to have answered as the Casagrandes go on to season 3?
Okay, let's see. Now, other than, of course, the number one theme that we've always wanted, the divorce backstory. How did Maria and Arturo meet in the first place? How did she get along with her brother Carlos when they were kids? And how did she become a nurse in the first place? We've always wanted to know. I actually want to see her when she gives a flashback when she gives birth to Bobby and Ronnie and see how that's executed.
Cute. Oh my god,
baby! Okay, first we got Baby Lincoln in the Loud House movie. Now we're gonna get Baby Ronnie Ann. I want to see that happen.
Well, we did get Baby Ronnie Ann. Remember in senior class?
Well, okay, that's true, but that was sort of like, see, the thing with that was that was meant to be a gag, but I'm talking about like a wholesome moment. That one that goes like, oh, yes,
yeah, I would love that.
We were blessed with a baby child. It's like that's what the Loud House movie Baby Lincoln felt like. I was like, I want to see a similar treatment given to Baby Ronnie Ann.
So let's say, for example, like the birth story of Ronnie Ann and Bobby, but not make it like Loud Loud from the Loud House. I mean, that backstory that Lincoln had is absolutely stupid.
Yeah.
I don't think a president is going to take care of Ronnie Ann giving birth.
Oh God. No.
Getting birth to Ronnie Ann.
Oh God. Yeah, I would imagine this. Like first, Loud House does an episode in which a president helps give birth to Lincoln. I would imagine somewhere along the line where we see like, wait, how did Ronnie Ann become born in the first place? Oh yeah, a lumberjack helped her like be born. It was a lumberjack that helped her with Ronnie Ann's birth.
Oh yeah, they were stuck on the road while Maria was in labor, so they had to go straight to lumberjack to freaking get birth.
Yeah, believe me, it sounds as ridiculous as that.
Look, the Loud House blew it when it comes to giving birth stories. Nonetheless, I mean, at least the Loud House movie actually did pick it up and actually like give a good reason why they have those birth stories.
They did it far better in the movie.
Look, I didn't see a president in the movie to talk about how he got born.
Oh God, yeah. I
just hope.
I don't want to talk about it.
You just hope that there's actually like a Casagrandes movie where they actually talk about the birth of Ronnie Ann and Bobby. Ooh, that actually would be cool. Have an intro video having like Ronnie Ann and Bobby being born from Maria and Arturo, and then it became the Casagrandes. I would actually see the same thing for Frida and Carlos. I would imagine that they'll also give birth to like Carl, CJ, and Carlota as well.
I kind of want that to happen, yeah.
That would be pretty. That would be pretty interesting. Oh, we got some ideas. Casagrandes Crew. I hope you're listening. If we're gonna have a Casagrandes movie.
Casagrandes movie. Come on, manifesting Casagrandes movie. Let's go.
Now, all right. So yeah, we pretty much talked about all the mysteries of Maria, but there's one point that we want to bring up, and I'm pretty sure everyone knows about this by now. Maria definitely needs more airtime. I mean, the one point we need to have here, I mean, as of now, she's pretty much a nurse who's stressed but has a very fascinating past. I think the crew of the Casagrandes can definitely build something out of Maria's story. Omid, would you agree on this?
Oh yeah, I mean it. Yes, yes. Maria needs more airtime. Casagrandes. Like I said before, you have so much material to work with Maria when it comes to like hints of her backstory, her high school life, how she gets along with Carlos, Maria and Arturo. You've got all the ground. You got all the material you need right there, and you still haven't fulfilled that potential. Like you still haven't taken advantage of the material. I'm just like, I'm going to see like at least in season 4, get to it.
Here's the thing, like we only have what 3 or 4 Maria episodes the entire Casagrandes right now. I mean, yeah, I understand Frida didn't have as much episodes as well, but still, Maria was the one who brought the Casagrandes together. You really need to actually have some honor about her. I mean, she did bring Ronnie and Bobby to the Casagrandes. We have the show now. Um, we really need to thank Maria for everything. Why not have her have airtime? I mean, we get
No,
it. She's a nurse. She's not that boring. You gave her an awesome backstory of a past. Now, can you build from that and actually give us more future episodes of Maria where we actually get to see, like, say, for example, a flashback episode of Maria in her crazy days when she was hanging out in concerts and actually met up with T-Bone, or a time where Maria and Arturo did meet up and actually started dating? We would love to see those episodes, but nothing. Maria's just still the nurse that we know and love. That's it.
and I think that's like because she's a hardworking nurse, and because let's be honest, like healthcare workers, and especially nowadays, healthcare workers are pretty much like one of those type of people that are like the real heroes of this world. Because like they take good care of their patients, they bring them to good health. They pretty much do what they can to take care of patients who are sick. And I'm just like honestly, the fact that the Casa Grandes doesn't give that much focus and attention to a hardworking nurse like Maria. Like, I don't want to speculate. I don't want to jump to conclusions or anything, but I feel like the Casa Grandes isn't giving like the as much respect to her as she rightfully deserves
Mm-hmm.
because of how hard
Exactly.
she works. Like, so honestly,
Exactly.
I feel that's kind of like that's how should I put this? That's kind of I don't want to say spin in the face, but it's just slightly disrespectful to, like hardworking healthcare workers
Mm.
like Maria.
I mean, first off, Maria, like I said, is the person that brought the Casagrandes together. Why not have her have much focus? Because it feels like we kind of like are putting her away. We get it. Ronnie Ann and Bobby are definitely are the focus people. But you also are giving some airtime to Carlos, Frida, Carlota, Rosa, Hector, everybody else. Why not our nurse? Why not the famous nurse that we all know that brought us all together? Yeah. But
Not to
I
mention
like
she drove all the way to Great Lake City in the
this
first
is
place to
more of
watch
a
on
plea.
Chaos.
This is more of a plea to like the Casagrandes crew. We need more Maria. But here's some things that we also want to talk about. Maybe there are some things that could be reason why Maria didn't have any episodes. Do you think her role as Molly's mother in the Ghost of Molly McGee may have led to the Casa crew having less episodes to accommodate Sumali, who's the voice of her?
Now, this is something that I don't like to bring up as an excuse as to why, because I think there have been some instances where voice actors do work in multiple projects at the same time with prominent roles. Like you got Anna Akana, who voices my beloved cartoon wife Gloria Sato in Big City Greens, and Sasha Waitbright in Amphibia simultaneously. So I feel that with Sumali, I feel that you know like this should be like kind of similar in that um just because she's working on one role, it doesn't mean that like they should diminish like her other role because of the main role that she
Mhm.
plays. I think that they should like play both roles like you know equal
I mean,
amount. You know what I
here's
mean?
the thing. Here's the thing. Like, Molly's mom, I forgot her name, but she has a more important role in the show. If you've noticed the recent episodes of Molly McGee, it feels like she actually is. She had her own episode, by the way. She had her
Yeah.
own like Gimme Mom episode or something like that. So I feel like they really are building a lot when it comes to her potential in the Ghost and Molly McGee. So why not do the same thing with Maria here in the Casagrandes? Why
And
not?
like I said,
See what I'm trying to put
yeah,
here.
yeah, honestly, now don't get me wrong. I really do like Molly's mother as well. Molly's mother is a great character, but I feel like her role as Molly's mother shouldn't outweigh her role as Maria. I think like it should be, like equal amount of attention, just like, what I brought with Ana Kana.
Yeah, that's true. Well, still though, I mean, like I understand Simone also busy. She's also an actress as well, so she could be doing her actress roles at the same time, maybe missing out on a couple of voice acting roles. But it is what an actress is, and you just hope that the Casa crew has more Maria potentially in the future. Um, Now it's here where we will bring up some ideas after what we've talked about in this episode. What kind of episodes should Maria have? Oh,
Um,
did you already say it, or do you want to still explain more?
Well, I feel that I should sort of like sort of a quick wrap overall thoughts. Like I said, like I said, give us a high school flashback episode, give us a concert flashback episode, give us like a flashback to when Maria dated T-Bone, a flashback episode to when Maria met Arturo. Like most importantly, like the divorce backstory, like why did Maria and Arturo really divorce in the first place? Like I said, like there's a lot of episode material that you have. Like you have the potential, don't squander it.
Right. There's just so many to actually bring up. If you're gonna put a lot of things on her past that you've been seeing in the Casagrandes, why not have like what Omi just pretty much said? Um, I think all of them are pretty much what you said, Omi. I had my ideas too, and you actually said it all. Backstory: where's T-Bone and Maria? How did they first meet up? How did they start dating? Here's the other thing too. What if that actually did end up, in the end of like what is it? Date with Destiny. What if it actually did happen? Maria and T-Bone start dating, and it actually continued on. Maria wanted to have a happy person. Why not have T-Bone?
Yeah, and not only that, not only do we want flashback episodes, but we also want like current present episodes where like pretty much play it like sort of like sequel episodes to Vacation Days, where Maria spends time with Ronnie Ann, where Maria spends time with Bobby. You could definitely make those episodes work as well.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, like I said, there's so much potential for her. The thing is that we need those episodes to come out. I mean, obviously, the number one thing we want to see is the whole backstory of like how Maria and Arturo got divorced. But I would not mind having like episodes where we get to see, like, say, for example, Maria as a teenager in high school doing all of this kind of stuff, making her become like the best person in high school to go travel around the world, for example, or a backstory of saying like, let's say for example in Misstep, how did she become like that one girl that loves to do the dance that Frida loves to dance?
What the folklore, right? What's it?
The Baile Folklorio. There you go. The
By
Baile
folklore.
Folklorio.
Yeah, I can't really pronounce it. Sorry.
Yeah, there should be also a thing about that. Maybe Rosa helped her out in making her dance the Baile Folklorio.
Yeah, that could actually potentially work, or make it like a sequel to Misstep in which Frida tries to get Maria into the Folklorio, but sort of like
but not break her arm, not break her leg, but not break her leg.
Like have it play similarly to Misstep, but instead of Frida getting Ronnie Ann to do the dance, it's Frida getting Maria to do the dance.
Yeah, but she did that, remember? And they broke her leg. She broke her leg.
And see, that's another thing too. Like because of the broken leg, Maria ever since then refused to do the dance ever again, and so Frida and the rest of her family try to get her back into it. Like, don't let one incident stop you from expressing yourself by dancing.
Well, I mean, in that episode, she did end up dancing the Baile Folklorio with with Carlota and Ronnie Ann. So, I still want to see how she danced, as a kid. with the Bahia Maria. Remember, she did dance it before. Yeah, she did dance it before.
She did it before, and that's the thing. Like, we could have an episode in which she gets back into it fully.
Here's the thing: if Big City Greens can be able to actually do some backstory stuff, why not the Casagrandes? Then again, it's like Loud House doesn't have any backstory stuff as well. So,
yeah, I think that's what's kind of lacking in both shows is that there's not enough flashbacks to their past. I mean, like, we got a full on legit Loud House comic in which like Lori takes care of baby Lincoln. Okay, so
yeah,
if the comics could do that, why can't the episodes?
Yeah, please. Oh my god. Oh, now I can't wait for Tuesday. Which, by the way, the comics on Tuesday. Oh,
Tuesday's gonna be a good day. Tuesday's gonna be a good day, especially from what I've seen in the cover. Yeah,
the cover already is fine, but I've seen some previews about the comic. Oh my god.
I kind of don't want them spoiled. That's kind of the thing.
I know, but I can't wait. Oh my god.
Yes.
But to say the least, our point is clear. Maria does need more episodes, and we can't wait to see. Hopefully, that the Casagrandes crew can actually make those episodes come out, and we get to see more about who Maria is, not just the nurse that she is that we've been seeing in the Casagrandes, but more of like her past and how she has been from those crazy concerts that she's been to how she got into medical school, to how she met Arturo, and this whole divorce that between Arturo and Maria that they're dealing with right now in the Casagrandes. Because there's so much potential for her, and we definitely owe it to her because she's, to be honest, the way we've been talking about her, she did make this Casagrande show. I mean, if it wasn't for her, the Casagrandes would not existed.
I Casa concur, my bro. I Casa concur.
All right, and that's pretty much it for our LoudCasa Talks episode. I know it's pretty short, but it's something that was it was itching in our minds that we need to actually talk about.
It was a food for thought sort of thing. Like, gets you thinking, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Just remember that the LoudCasa Talks is available for you on all podcast providers, whether it be on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to the podcast, the LoudCasa Talks will be available there for you to listen to. And also head over to our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell on our YouTube channel so that you can be notified of next time we're going to be coming on to record our next LoudCasa Talks episode. And I'll let you guys know that next week we're gonna have our next LoudCasa Talks episode next week. It's just pretty much going to be all about reviewing a Loud House Christmas. We'll break down all of the things that happened during the movie, from the story of the movie to the cast and how the movie went and everything in between. So you don't want to miss out on this special Loud House Christmas review episode next Sunday.
That's right, folks. So consider next week's episode to be a special Christmas present from LoudCasa Talks to the Loud Crowd and Casa Crew. A nice Christmas present wrapped up in a Christmas gift. in wrapping.
It's a good way to say it. But to say the least, though, it's a review that we were wanting to do. Like we said, we thought we have average thoughts about the movie. But in this review, we're going to be really breaking it down, saying, is it really that good? Or is it really worth the 3.1 million views? but to say the least, though, if it was successful like this, it's probably a lot of things to talk. It's probably a lot of good things to talk about.
Yeah, it's good to sort of break down as to why it became successful in the first place, strengths, weaknesses. And when I mean weaknesses, I mean there's one major weakness that we're going to delve upon a lot. So just give you a heads up.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about on this Loud House Christmas review. So don't miss out next Sunday. Same time, same place, 5 o'clock. Hopefully at the same time, 5 o'clock next Sunday. Otherwise, that's it for us here. Thank you all very much for checking out our LoudCasa Talks episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And we'll see you guys next week. My name is Nate.
And this is Omid saying thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for listening. It's nice to talk about an underappreciated character like Maria, especially when she's a hardworking nurse. Give massive respect to healthcare workers everywhere. And until next time, see you later, Casa Crew.